What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. I'm starting to see those subscribes go up. I'm also starting to see the views go up. This is a good sign. I'm just a tiny little YouTube channel. And if I'm seeing some stuff happening, retail is back. But it really does mean a lot to me if you would take just a quick second and subscribe. Also, comment down below. Love interacting with you guys. So you read that thumbnail right. If you are a Cardano, not a Cardano, I'm sorry, if you are a Solana holder, we got some issues and I want to go over that here. So let's kind of get into it. I hope my microphone is working correctly here. All right, so we're going to take a look here. First of all, we got BTC dominance is starting to come down. Look at this. This is on the daily. We've been looking at this chart for a bit now. Now, when BTC dominance is going down, that means money is coming out of BTC and it's going into alts. So this is what we want to see for alt market to really start to take off. All right. So, and then if we look at the, this is a better, so this is on the yearly. All right. So this is the BTC dominance on the yearly. So each candle represents a year. All right. So you clearly see 2017 bull market began when we saw this huge drop. All right. Once we see this drop, that means that's money going into alts. And then we had 3 years of a bear market and money starts slowly going back into Bitcoin. And then we had the 2021 drop, right? When this dropped, we had money going out of Bitcoin and into alts. And we saw, I mean, if you were around for last bull cycle, you remember it just got absolutely crazy. And this is the last 3 years of us being in a bear market, money going back in. And so what we want to see is beginning of the year, we want to see that drop down. All right. And when we see this is going to be, just over the course of the year, we're going to see some crazy stuff happening. And, as long as it plays out like it's been playing out, we should see this big drop. Okay. If we take a look at the Bitcoin chart, just on the daily, you can see we've been struggling a little bit with this 99,000. I drew this line back in April, and it's really sort of followed it to a T. Actually, where it looks the best is when I have it on the weekly. If we come down here real quick, this is where I kind of really almost nailed it, right? But of course, it shot up faster. I thought it was going to take. I thought we weren't going to hit that 99 till January, but with Trump winning, that's accelerated this. But I anticipated we were going to have some problems at this 99,000. Let's see how this plays out. I do think that we could see once it does break 100,000, I think it could shoot up to like 108. My target has been in that 120 range roughly for this bull cycle. It could go way higher than that. I seriously, like all these charts and all these theories and things like that goes completely out the window when nation states are buying Bitcoin, putting it on their balance. You know what I mean? Like all of this goes out the window. This thing could absolutely turn heads. There's some people that say it's going to hit 1 million by the end of 2025. I'm not convinced it's going to go that high on this one, but I will gladly be proven wrong. I just think that there are a lot of people that, they once, looking at the dominance, right now, there's a lot of people that are taking their Bitcoin profits and they're rolling them into altcoins, right? And because the altcoins will outperform Bitcoin during the altcoin bull run. So, they're rotating their Bitcoin profits to altcoins. And then once altcoin season's done, they take their profits and they put it back into Bitcoin. And that's what you see in this chart. It's so clear, right? That's what's going on. So anyway, we got a key level here. If we go back to the daily, we really need to see this kind of break this 100K level. Otherwise, we may pull back down. And I wouldn't mind, to be honest with you, if we see that happening, we see it kind of test and then it comes back down into the 87 area before we then make the move up, right? That wouldn't surprise me if that happens. It also wouldn't surprise me if it just breaks out, right? And we up here and then it kind of does one of these and then we're off to the races, right? So there's a lot of different things that could happen here and just got to be prepared for any one of them. Now, Solana, All right, if you're holding Solana, here is what I'm looking at for Solana. What do you see here? Take a look here. All right, so this is just on the 4-hour here. What do you see happening with Solana? All right, I see a little shoulder here. I see a little head, and I see a little shoulder. All right, so we got a head and shoulder here. All right, what does that mean? Well, the one thing is we have a wonky little neckline here, but typically if this is a bearish pattern setup, right? So if we see, this, if we see this come down and break this neckline, do expect another drop down to possibly the 200 areas where we would find some support. Okay, this is a very common, this is a common pattern. I will say that head and shoulders during bull markets get invalidated more than anything else. Okay, so even though head and shoulders hold up really well, and it's one of the more common, patterns that people look at during ripping, roaring bull markets, those can get invalidated. All right, and actually, here's an example of where I think we're watching an invalidation play out on a head and shoulders, and that's if we go to one of my favorite coins, AVAX. So look at AVAX. All right, again, on the 4-hour. Okay, so we saw shoulder, head, shoulder. All right, and what happened? It didn't come down to the neckline. Instead, it broke above this shoulder. All right, so AVAX is looking really good right now. All right, and this is a clear example of head and shoulders being invalidated. Now, that doesn't mean it couldn't still come down. Yeah, absolutely. It could do anything, right? But this is an example of, I was watching this. I sold some AVAX because I saw this playing out and I got kind of scared. Not a lot. I still have a large bag of AVAX that I plan to hold for quite a while. But I did sell some, and that was dumb. And I realized that, again, head and shoulders are one of the things that can get invalidated more than anything else. So, keep that in mind. But anyway, I expect AVAX to really perform well. Whoops, get rid of that. To really perform well this cycle. If we're looking here at this is AVAX on the daily. Once we can, break out completely of this. So this is Fibonacci from the high of the last, I guess this was in March, right? Down to the low. See this breaking this area. Okay, this is the golden pocket. We get out of this at around the 46, 47. And I can see this thing, running definitely clear here up into 100 area. Probably around 80 is when I would start thinking about taking profits, but it could easily, we could break up to this area. So a lot of people say AVAX should possibly even clear all-time highs from last cycle. Just be aware that there's going to be people that have been in this thing since over here, right? All right. So the one thing about some of the boomer coins is that there's a lot of people with PTSD that have been holding up in here. Okay. And so as soon as these prices start getting back up into these areas, you're going to see some selling. All right. So that's why my target is in that 80 range for AVAX this cycle. And that's just me. I do want to bring you something that I have been talking about, a little bonus here in terms of meme coins, which I'm not a huge meme coin person. I think they're great and they're fun and you can make a ton of money on them. It's just, it's hard to know which ones to pick. But I do believe that the base network is becoming by far one of the more popular infrastructures in all of crypto, right? There's a lot of money trading on Base. Base does not have a coin of itself. So if you want to leverage play on Base, Brett is the meme coin for Base Network. And if we take a look here on the daily, remember I said before this bull flag, it has been just consolidating very nicely. It has broken out of the bull flag. All right. That doesn't mean that it's necessarily going to pump like crazy, because typically what we want to see, and I drew this the other day, and obviously it's a little bit off here, but we want to see this retest, right? So actually, let me go ahead and clear this. All right, what we want to see is we want to see this come back and retest this, and from resistance, it then becomes support, and then we're off to the races. So I still think that Brett is even though it has done a lot of movement already, I still think that we're early. Whoops, God, I'm terrible at this. I still think that you could say that we're early on Brett. I think it's going to absolutely clear these all-time highs. Meme coins are going to get popular again. I think right now we're kind of seeing the people coming back into crypto for the first time. They're coming back into the boomer coins, stuff like that. And then meme coins are going to have their day in the sun again. And I would not be surprised if we see Brett as one of the performers. Pepe coin, or Pepe, is obviously going to be a big one. Brett is Pepe's brother. It represents the base coin, or the base network. And yeah, this is just a beautiful chart setup. So are you late to Brett? I mean, listen, I traded Brett back in here. I made a few bucks left and right, but I didn't really start accumulating till during this, right? So I'm late. All right. But again, I think with this kind of setup, we could see something huge. Now, what you may want to do is you may want to wait and watch for this to play out. Okay. Before you take a position, if you're not in Brett, you may want to wait to see it pull back, right? And then test this previous resistance level, turn it into support. And then once it breaks above this here, assuming it does this, that's when you could enter a long position and then ride it out. All right. And that would be the safest way. Now, it could just, it could completely invalidate everything and just go on an absolute crazy tear. I don't think that's going to happen, but you never know in crypto. You never know. So, hey, anyway, if you got anything from this, again, please hit that like button, subscribe, comment down below. Tell me what you think of my analysis. I'm not an expert. I'm just, I've just been in markets for a while, primarily stock market since like 2013. I really didn't get into crypto until last bull cycle, studied it, fell in love with it, and I'm big on it. So anyway, if you got anything from it, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys all on the next one.